Okay, 7:30 roughly in the morning, I think. We're breaking camp. We are out of here. Barrett and Greta are gonna go to Boise, and then I'm gonna head west through the mountains. I've already packed the bike up, having breakfast. And I'm heading into Oregon today. Last night was really, really cold. We got frost all over everything. Putting away a tent is a pain. So it's good, and I would suggest to get really angry at your equipment and throw it around a little bit, and that'll get the heart rate up, and it might put more blood in your fingers, and you can work faster. It's a great technique. It's acquired skill. You gotta work on it. So the goal today is to go to Oregon to get a campsite at Mount Hood. It's a volcano, and according to Barrett here, it is extremely beautiful with crevasses and gigantic glaciers and ice on top of it. It sounds kind of oxymoronic to have a glacier on top of a volcano. It sounds like really metal. It'd be cool to check that out. We'll be riding in the cold out of here, but it's nothing this moto can't handle. Right. Bye, you guys.
It was fun.
Alright, here we go. Down some lonely road I don't know. A little chilly. And my nose gets cold. Oregon! To get out of the Sawtooths, I need to head west on Idaho State Highway 21. It first goes north, deeper into the wilderness, before it drops south and out of the mountains. Ever since I've crossed into Idaho, I've been in what's historically called Oregon Country. Oregon Country was some of the last mapped parts of North America. It was positioned on the extreme opposite side of the continent from Europe. To get to it, Europeans would have to circumnavigate the globe. Initially, it was claimed by Spain. The Spanish Empire wasn't very clear on as to where their territory ended. A treaty in 1819 finally relinquished any Spanish holdings north of the 42nd parallel. Russia had sent explorers down the continent and even established a settlement in today's California. They were unfortunately late to the party and couldn't hold any claims in the region. They held on to Alaska, though. They ended up selling it to the U.S. after the American Civil War. In 1818, the U.S. and British Empire signed a treaty that would claim the region together. Both nations were allowed to navigate and settle throughout the territory, and finally, in 1846, the U.S. and Great Britain decided to extend the 49th parallel as the U.S.-Canada border, with the exception of Vancouver Island. From there, Oregon Country became the Oregon Territory, and a new frontier was established. So Oregon Country is established by the ocean, the treaties to the north and south, but how did they decide where it ended to the east? To do that, we'll look at the United States' largest territorial acquisition, the Louisiana Purchase. I never really thought about it, but how did they come up with the border for this? Where did they draw the line on the Louisiana Purchase? The western border seems so arbitrary, only the most rugged Europeans made it out there. The truth is, once you look at a map of the Mississippi Basin, you'll see what it really was. Rivers were the primary source of navigation back then. The Mississippi, and all the rivers that drain into it, were a part of the Louisiana Purchase. Once I crossed into Idaho and over the Continental Divide, I was in a new territory, Oregon Country. For the longest time in American history, Oregon Country was the most rugged, uncharted, unmapped, lawless, and untamed part of the American frontier.